Tonight on Syracuse Unpeeled.
Reports suggest that Jussie Smollett orchestrated his own attack.
Nickelodeon is reviving hit TV show All That.
Syracuse celebrates the last week of Winterfest.
And the fired music festival creator wants to start a new music festival again.
All that and more only on Syracuse Unpeeled. Welcome to another juicy episode of Syracuse Unpeeled. I'm Sacchi.
And I'm Meagan Reynolds.
So, topping the news this week were the Oscars. They announced that all 24 categories will air during the ceremony. This after receiving major backlash from high-profile directors and film fans. The Academy rescinded a decision made last week to cut 4 major awards from the telecast.
The Academy President John Bailey and CEO Don Hudson made the decision Thursday night and took to Twitter to announce the good news. This is the Academy's 5th major reversal regarding the show. Now, let's just hope there are no more roadblocks leading up to the big day. And in other news, iconic fashion designer Karl Lagerfeld passed away from unknown causes in Paris on Tuesday. Rumors of his deteriorating health began in late January when he was absent from a Chanel fashion show due to, quote, tiredness. He was admitted to the hospital the night before he passed.
Lagerfeld served as the creative director for Chanel since 1983 and the creative director for Fendi since 1965. Donatella Versace, Anna Wintour, and other industry leaders have offered their condolences and thanking him for his contributions to high fashion. Now, Lagerfeld, he was a legend. There's no doubt about saying that.
100%. You know, he was 85 at his passing, and even though, you know, he was known to obscure his age, so that's the reported age he was, which I think is kind of funny that he even was able to hide that.
Yeah, even at this point. And PETA, their tweet though was pretty interesting.
Oh my goodness, that was just
a little bit, I don't know.
That was a little bit of a dicey move on their part. You know, they're receiving backlash for a tweet where they said, quote, Karl Lagerfeld has gone and his passing marks the end of an era when fur and exotic skins were seen as covetable. PETA sends condolences to our old nemesis loved ones. Wow. That's just, you had to take it there.
Yeah, you really did. I mean, come on. But sweatpants are a sign of defeat, like he said. That one might have been 2. So production, though, of Hamilton in San Francisco this weekend left 3 audience members injured when a medical emergency was mistaken for an active shooter. A woman in the audience was suffering from a heart attack when a defibrillator was pulled off of the wall to aid the woman, and the fire alarm began to ring.
The alarm set people into a panic and caused an unorganized rapid exit from the theater, which left 1 audience member with a broken leg and 2 others with moderate injuries. The chaos ensued during a scene that contained gunshots, causing people to think that a shooting was happening inside the theater. Wow, I can't even imagine the horror that these people must have felt in that moment. But, you know, it was the scene where Alexander Hamilton is being shot initially, and, you know, this caused the audience members to, you know, just lose their minds, which just shows the fear that kind of remains today.
I mean, there was some fear. I get that was the scene of the movie. People's high, you know, they're high-strung, whatever it was. But, I mean, someone did yell gun. That kind of really, I mean, exaggerated the chaos. There was no control over the situation, so tough one.
I mean, and the biggest thing about this is, you know, that people are now lashing back at the theater for the way that they handled the situation. You know, they're saying that there was no support from them and there was no kind of guidance from any of the workers. So that's just kind of sad to see, especially if people were there with their children.
Yeah, I mean, somebody, a 6 and 9-year-old son, 6 and 9-year-old children, absolutely no announcement, mass chaos, like you said. So a situation that could have been avoided, and the fire yelling, the gun yelling didn't really help either.
No, that definitely did not. So hopefully, you know, there'll be some kind of, what's the word? You know,
some solution, some way to have a.
It's just like a warning that, you know, the show contains gunshots, noises, and things like that. I couldn't think of the word for a second. But in other news reports, now are suggesting that reports from the Chicago Police Department are now suggesting that the recent attack on Empire star Jussie Smollett was orchestrated by Smollett himself.
The 2 brothers arrested for attacking Smollett claim that the actor paid them to facilitate the attack. The brothers' information was allegedly shifted the trajectory of the investigation, and Smollett himself is angry and upset over claims that he knew the brothers and they were conspiring the attack him the whole time. A wired situation we first thought, okay, we just kind of took it as fact. Now it's a little bit more
There's a lot of
sus.
things that are questioning, and a lot of people are saying that the story should have been questioned from the beginning, which I think is interesting. You know, people are pointing out the fact that people just had rope in the middle of the night and they didn't know where it came from, and now they're saying they're tracking it down to the store where it was bought. And a lot of these new facts are coming out that people just kind of were willing to ignore at first, which shows the kind of climate of news today, that people are just willing to believe things with no facts backing it up.
Yeah, that's true. And also, just take away, I mean, this is like a book, you know, a novel, someone that fakes their own situation like this. I mean, that's
this
pretty
is the stuff
wild.
that you actually see in TV shows and movies.
Yeah, something you see in TV shows. Someone's got to tell Smollett that this is not the acting world, this is real life. I mean,
him and his attorneys are all sticking by the story that, you know, this was a hate crime and that, you know, that he suffered a horrific attack. But, you know, the two persons of interest who were cooperating with the Chicago PD, you know, they were released. There was no charges filed against them, and you know, now the police are wanting to question Smollett again and to get his take on things. Once again, they're being very diligent in their investigation, and Smollett's just not responsive to them at all.
Yeah, he's not. He says he has, quote, no plans to do this again. The rumors suggest, though, that the writing for Empire might be written. He might be written off from Empire. Allegedly, the reason that he would do this.
Yeah, so I mean, TMZ is also reporting that his role is now being cut down heavily in the wake of this, and you know, more will be coming from this story.
More on that, hopefully, with later episodes. But coming up, highlights from New York Fashion Week.
So don't go anywhere, Unpeelers. Hey.
Are you good to drive?
I'm fine.
How many did you have?
I should be fine.
You should be.
Go and step out of the vehicle for me.
See ya, buddy. Good luck. So turns out, buzz driving and drunk driving, they're the same thing, and it costs around $10,000. So not worth it.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
Welcome back, Unpeelers. Nickelodeon is now going back to the basics with the sketch comedy show All That. It's now returning to Nickelodeon with former cast member Kenan Thompson as executive producer. Nick is also bringing back Are You Afraid of the Dark and Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader with John Cena as its host. Here to discuss the reboot is Syracuse Unpeeled's TV reporter Daniel Preciado. Daniel, thank you for joining us tonight. How you doing?
I'm doing very, very good. I'm so excited about these revivals that are going on right now.
A lot of 90s nostalgia.
A lot of 90s nostalgia. These are shows that are just so iconic that even if you are not a part of the 90s, if you're not a 90s kid, if you will, you still know them.
Exactly.
So for those who maybe aren't 90s kids, who didn't really grow up with these shows, what are we going to expect and what are these shows about?
Well, this show's Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader is just like a game show in which adults get tested next to like fifth graders.
Yeah.
It's super funny.
It's classic, yeah.
Are You Afraid of the Dark is a very Twilight Zone, maybe Black Mirror-ish kind of a show, like an anthology, like a horror anthology for kids. And All That is always described as like SNL, Saturday Night Live for twins. It is an iconic show where a lot of like current comedians, classic Nickelodeon comedians came out of.
That's really awesome. So are any of the original cast members going to be coming back to the show?
So as you mentioned, Kenan Thompson is coming back to executive produce. He is. That does not mean that he's going to leave his Saturday Night Live post though. He's still going to be there. He's a big staple on that show as well. So he's staying, but he's also doing this. Also, Kel Mitchell, who is known from Kenan and Kel, he's also coming back for All That. So that's pretty exciting.
So Kenan and Kel both coming back, but what does this mean for Nickelodeon as a whole as we go ahead? Are we going to go back to the 90s or what do we think?
Yeah, so Nickelodeon is really going for this 90s nostalgia kind of like programming now. These are not the first revivals from Nickelodeon. In the past years, we've had a Legends of the Hidden Temple revival. We've also had a Hey Arnold revival. It's such a fun game. So Nickelodeon is really trying to bring back the classic, the absolute staples, to not only rope in kids from nowadays, but also kind of bring back the adults as well, because I, for example, watched the Hey Arnold movie when it came out because I just love that show so much.
Yeah, I mean, they're certainly reeling me back into Nickelodeon. Daniel, thank you so much. Thank you so much. So, what? Okay. Okay, Daniel, we'll keep chatting a little bit. What are the more exciting things in the channel's future then?
Well, all of these are so exciting. Just like this new programming is just so crazy to think that they are just going back 20 years in the past to bring back these TV shows, which are staples. And they're shows that have brought out classics like Drake and Josh, Ken and Kel. It's just such a great move, in my opinion, from Nickelodeon. Just a great move to kind of gap two different generations.
All right. Daniel, once again, thank you so much for real this time. This year, New York Fashion Week featured memorable moments on and off the runway. From Carolina Herrera taking her final bow to Cardi B in the front row, the week was full of showstoppers and stunning collections. Here to present her own collection of the week's highlights is Syracuse Unpeeled fashion reporter Olivia Tomito. Olivia, thanks for coming down.
Thanks for having me.
All right, Olivia, so tell us, a little bit about the show. What were your favorite moments of the show?
It's really tough to pick a favorite because after the show, like Anna Wintour said, she said it was a tale of two cities, which was a really good way to put it because on one hand, you had these amazing, really well-known designers putting on amazing shows as usual, and then you had these new designers that are really willing to push the boundaries. They're really embracing body positivity. They're being really diverse in their shows, so it's really refreshing to see. So it's just really fun overall to watch what the new designers are getting into.
So you talked about the new fashion designers, a more fresh, new look. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so basically, as I just said, they're just willing to go all the way and kind of like rebranding what a fashion show is. So some of my favorite ones that I was really excited to see where I was really excited to see Christian Cohen because he always designs really great artists such as Miley Cyrus. He did Cardi B once. So that was something I was really looking forward to. And even though this is his second show, he's still kind of new to the scene. And he played around with a lot of neon, which I love this season. So that was fun to see. I was also really excited to see Telfar because he's always been really into embracing diversity in his shows, and he actually had his models crowd surf down the catwalk instead of walk.
Yeah.
And his show, from what it seemed, was just like a really fun environment, all about America. It was really cool to watch from online, I guess, but yeah.
So this seemed like a really crazy weekend, but what for you was the most surprising thing that happened overall?
One of the most surprising shows overall was the Blondes for so many reasons. First, they had Paris Hilton walking. She came out in this sparkly silver bodysuit, and I just loved that. I thought it was so iconic. Everything she does, I love. And then they also had Lil' Kim close the show with Go Off. So that was just a really exciting thing overall. Really surprising, fun thing to watch.
Certainly. And this seemed like a great fashion week overall. We're always looking ahead. What trends can we expect for the show in the fall based on this season?
So you can definitely expect a lot of animal print, which we've been seeing this season, cheetah print, leopard, that's all been coming back. So that's definitely going to stay. Something that I thought was kind of surprising, though, was that there was a lot of purple, which I wasn't expecting. Tom Ford played around with that. There was also a lot of patchwork that we saw in Michael Kors. So there's definitely going to be some new things this season. But again, we don't know what color palette is going to stick because some people were doing brights and some people were doing neutrals.
Well, we all have that to look forward to coming in the fall, but coming up on Syracuse Unpeeled, the carnival that is taking students by storm.
Don't go anywhere, Unpeelers.
So, same time next week?
Well, of course.
Did you hear about the pony with a sore throat? He was a little horse. Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding. Why couldn't the Wait, why was the basketball court all wet? Why? Because the players kept dribbling all over it. Where the cats go on vacation? New York.
Welcome back, Unpeelers. Syracuse Winterfest began last week, but the fun is far from over. The celebration began in 1985 and continues to spread winter joy throughout central New York every single year. Here to tell us more about Winterfest is our city events reporter, Natalie Fahmy. Natalie, how you doing?
Pretty good. How are you guys?
All right, so let's just start off with what is Winterfest?
Okay, so it was actually the second largest event in central New York. It attracts over 100,000
1,000 people each year, and it has dozens of activities ranging from parties, cook-offs, there are even some treasure hunts. So there's really something for everybody at this event.
So who are these events for, and how much are they?
So these events really are for anyone. There's no age limit and there's no age restriction. Anyone can participate. Most of the events range somewhere from $5 to $20, but all of the money is turned around and it goes to prizes for the competitions or giveaways.
Oh, that's excellent.
So how can somebody get in between the different events?
Okay, so there actually is going to be a Mark Centro bus every weekend that goes in between the different major events downtown. So there's going to be it's called the Winterfest Express, and anyone can get on it. It's running from 12:30 to 4:30 every weekend.
All right, awesome. So if Winterfest sounds like fun, but you don't want to freeze off campus, you're in luck because the Winter Carnival begins this week and is hosted by the Syracuse University Traditions Commission. And this all takes place around the SU campus. Here to tell us more about Winter Carnival is our campus events reporter, Carrie McEnany. Hi, how are you?
I'm good.
Thanks for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me. How are you guys doing?
Good.
Not bad. So we talked about Winterfest. Now, what is the Winter Carnival in detail?
So Winter Carnival is actually a tradition that dates all the way back to 1930 here on SU's campus. There's a bunch of indoor and outdoor activities ranging from chili cook-offs to human dog sled racing, which I'm personally really excited about.
Yeah,
but again, this is all going on this week from Tuesday the 19th to Saturday the 23rd. But yeah, like Natalie said, it coincides with Syracuse Winterfest, which is supposed to be a ball.
That's really fun. So what actually kicked off this event?
So what kicked off this event was a hot cocoa tasting on the quad on Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. I heard it went really quickly.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Free hot chocolate in the cold.
Honestly, it's a necessity right now. There's a bunch of different hot cocoa events going on throughout the week, but again, throughout this what kicked this off today, there was some Winter Carnival dinners in the dining halls, soups, bread and butter, a lot of the things that you would need in the winter.
Nice soul food. All right, so when can we go down and actually enjoy the Winter Carnival?
So the Winter Carnival days, the official Winter Carnival days are taking place on Wednesday and Thursday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. in Shine. So if you want to go, check it out. It's all free. There's free stuff, and there's a lot of free fun.
College students do love free stuff.
All right, so coming up, the NBA All-Star moments from the NBA All-Star Game.
Don't go anywhere.
You know, from a young age, I definitely want to major in political science, become the mayor or something, make the situation better for other people. My name is Justin, and I am your dividend.
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's not something you buy.
Or something you take.
In fact, there's only one way to get it.
It has to be given to you, freely.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape. Consent.
If you don't get it, you don't get it. It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at It's On Us.
All right, welcome back, Unpeelers. Fire Festival is heating up headlines once again after reports that co-founder Ja Rule would consider starting another music festival. Ja Rule is using the buzz around the new Hulu and Netflix documentaries on the failed festival to possibly hint at potential plans. Here to clear the smoke surrounding these reports is Syracuse Unpeeled's music reporter, Liam Crowley. Hey, Liam, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing fantastic. Ready to talk about this crazy idea.
Yeah, you talked about a crazy idea, so I guess my question doesn't really apply, but is this a good idea for Ja Rule?
Part of me wants to say, let's capitalize on this controversy. The Netflix, the Hulu documentaries are massive hits. Memes are everywhere on Twitter and Instagram, but how do I not say no? This is insane. Fire Festival was a colossal disaster. Billy McFarland, Ja Rule's partner in founding it, is in 6 years of federal prison for this, for all the fraud that went on. You gotta just let people make the memes, let people make fun of you, and move on. I get it, it's a red on his ledger, it's one of those problems, his most infamous problem to date that he wants to just correct. Let's just let it go.
Well, if Ja Rule doesn't take your advice, do you have any festival tips for him?
For starters, don't false advertise. One of the most infamous quotes from the Fire Festival documentary was, "Oh, it's not fraud, it's false advertising." They're one and the same. Let's not do that. And if we're going to plan the festival, plan each aspect. That means food, hotels, travel, venues, everything. Do not just skip over bits and say, oh, we'll get to it later. Let's do it before we put tickets on sale to the public. And don't announce until it is publicly made final that all the aspects are reserved, hotels are paid for, all that stuff. Put it on a venue rather than a remote island. It makes everything so much easier.
Thank you so much, Liam. Ja Rule, back at it again. I don't know if we're as big a fan of it as we were back in his prime. But now, 68th NBA All-Star Weekend was a slam dunk. The weekend included appearances from stars Michael Jordan, rapper Meek Mill, and Steph Curry's mother. The event was a break from what is now considered the home stretch of the basketball season as playoffs approach. But here to discuss the play-by-play is our internet reporter, Mason Hirodowski. Mason, thanks for coming down.
Always happy to be here.
All right, so to get started, for those at home who may not be caught up, can you just break down the NBA All-Star Weekend for us?
Well, NBA All-Star Weekend, with maybe the exception of the NBA playoffs, is probably the most fun time to be a basketball fan. It's kind of like the encapsulation of everything that we love about the game. Starts on Friday with the celebrity game, where you get to see guys like Hassan Minaj or Quavo ball out against NBA legends like Ray Allen. Then you go into the Rising Stars game with the best rookies and sophomores, and the skills challenge, the three-point contest. I mean, it goes into the fan favorite dunk contest as well. It all leads up to Sunday, though, with the big game and the best of the best in the NBA going at it against each other. And this year's game was particularly good. It saw Team LeBron go over Team Giannis.
Good game, but what about the social media game? What was the best post that you saw from All-Star Weekend?
Well, in my personal opinion, it came from a guy that I like to call the guardian angel of NBA Twitter, and that is Joel Embiid. The 76ers big man was out the night before the All-Star game, shirtless partying at 2 in the morning, rapping to Drake's nonstop, and that doesn't sum up what Joel Embiid is in particular. I don't know what does. I mean, the guy is a big, goofy ball of energy, and it's hard not to love the guy.
It's really, yeah, I totally agree with you there. But now that the All-Star game is over, is there anything else we should be looking out for as the season continues?
Well, like I said, the next big thing for the NBA is for the playoff picture to kind of develop from here. But there was one thing I did notice in particular from the weekend, and that was a photo of LeBron James and Anthony Davis. And obviously, everyone knows about the rumors that Anthony Davis was going to potentially go to Los Angeles before the trade deadline.
Yep.
That obviously didn't happen. But look at that picture. Those are two guys that are colluding to go and end up in LA by the end of the season, which realistically could happen if he ends up getting traded to LA at the end of the year. And I know LeBron likes to say that collusion doesn't count during the All-Star game, but come on. Look at that face. He knows exactly where he's going to be at the end of the year.
He definitely does. But, coming up next, watch Chris and I play an All-Star game of our own. So, don't go anywhere.
That's what's next on Syracuse Unpeeled.
Got a quarter?
Every time I hear the alarm bell go off in school, I think it's an air raid. A lot of houses in our neighborhood have been destroyed. I like to close my ears and sing songs whenever the bombs come close. I'm worried our new neighbors won't like us. But I know it's all gonna be worth it. I just want my family to be safe. But these are not my words. These are not my words. These are not my words.
Welcome back, Unpeelers. Megan and I are all fired up, ready to go, about to go head-to-head in a competitive game of paper basketball. The game is simple. We'll take turns shooting buckets, and whoever makes the most at the end, they win the game.
Joining us is Unpeeled sports reporter Mason Ordisky as the official commentator, and Unpeeled Solace member Liam Crowley is our hoop. And, let's just get started.
Go ahead.
Ladies first? Oh, gosh. All right. This is a lot of pressure.
Ooh.
Oh!
1 for 1 to start.
Ooh,
Air ball, though. Come on, Chris. You got to step it up. Use that backboard. Don't hit Liam in the face. He's too pretty for that. Come on.
Do we get extra points?
Oh, there you go. Actually, bonus points if you hit Liam.
Ooh. All right. I'm running.
1-1.
1-1,
Quick pickup. Quick pickup. I feel like I'm at baseball practice again. All
I
right.
feel like this is like rapid.
It's good hustle.
The hoop can't be moving. That's just not fair.
Just saying, as the official, I will take bribes. Oh, there's another. Okay.
Carmelo
He's starting to heat up.
Ooh.
Hard off the backboard.
So is it 2-1?
2-1. Or 2-2, yeah.
2-2.
Right.
Oh, I'm sorry.
A terrible official. You're right, Liam.
Worst official ever.
Not Liam, Chris.
Oh, man, we're breaking.
Starting to cool down now.
Here, I'll be a good sport.
Hopefully you get an assist.
Oh. He wanted that one. He held the final.
I just chucked that one at Liam.
Oh, he's moving.
Another air bite. Bonus points for the challenge shots.
Moving.
Gotta put some art. You're throwing line drives, man.
Step back.
I don't know my own strength, guys. It's fine. All right, I'm winning here, I think, right?
You gotta
Banks
be up
open
at this
on
point.
Sunday.
I think I have 4.
You have 4.
Why
There's
am
5.
I should be the commentator right
living
now.
off the backboard right
Yo,
now.
there are dunks in this. I'll need a few free points.
Bonus points if you get dunked from the foul line.
Oh.
I don't know if it's NBA length right here, but you can try.
Oh man, she's on fire.
Oh boy.
Oh, get in there.
Meg's
Chris,
pulling
you
away
talked a
with
big
it.
game
Chris,
earlier. I don't
Meg's
see
running
it.
away
Just
with it
like
right now.
Cora.
And you airball that one too. Come on, man.
Oh.
Reynolds
I need
is
some more.
scorching hot from the field right now. There's one though. And another. Okay, he's locked
Someone
in.
said scorching hot.
Oh, he's locked in. Bricks that one though.
What are we at, Mason? I'm
We
not.
have
I
7
just
2
got
3
one.
right. Make that 8 to 3.
8 to 3.
8 to 3. Oh,
You gotta,
That
You
hurts.
gotta make a little bit of
All
a
right.
comeback.
8-4.
8-4, halfway there. 5. Oh boy.
I was gonna say it was heating up.
Yeah, you were. 8-6. Don't choke this away now, Meg. Uh-oh. Little
Sacchi,
opportunity
take
for
my
Chris
breath.
right now. Get ready. Oh, that was close.
Oh.
And that one just almost killed Liam. That one didn't even reach Liam.
And that's my shot. I'm just not making my shots.
Oh boy. Don't quit your day jobs, guys.
Yeah, I
Never
honestly,
planned on it.
I should.
Oh, all right. I'm at 9.
All right. 2 back.
All right, what's the score as we head into the?
We are at 9 to 6. We are almost there.
I think
It's going to be a tight game. 9-7.
Yeah.
It's going to be a tight one. It's going to be way
That was
closer
really
than I thought it
bad.
would
Come on.
be. The beginning of this
Oh.
one.
What do you think? Sacchi was going to win by a landslide?
I thought you were going to win by a landslide
Yeah,
at one
okay.
point. He's made a bit of a comeback, though.
Oh, wow. I'm really excited
Maybe
right
I'm
now.
thinking Sacchi now, especially after that shot.
Dunk.
Oh, dunks it. Like Vince Carter in his prime.
9-8.
9-8. It's a 1-point ball game, ladies and gentlemen. 9-9. All
9-9.
tied up. Oh,
All tied up.
I'm
I
at
thought
10.
now you're
11.
10. Oh boy.
That's 11.
That's
all right.
11, and
I think
that
that's
is
all we
it.
have the time
we
for.
We have a winner. Do you want to try for one more? I don't think it's worth
One
it.
Can I
more.
get like a free throw line dunk, maybe?
Ooh, he's gonna go for the slam dunk. Oh,
right,
Jordan
well,
in the dunk contest.
That is
I'm
all
gonna
we
hurt
have
myself.
time for, the Unpeelers, on this week's episode of Syracuse Unpeeled. Tune in next week for a thorough Oscars recap. I am Meagan Reynolds.
And I'm Chris Sacchi. Have a great night, Unpeelers.